Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make spooky Halloween caramel apples. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to get notified every time I post. First, you're going to need to have a metal pan or a wax paper or parchment paper, and you're going to need to butter the entire thing so that the apples do not stick once you place them on there. Next, you're going to need to move to the oven and get a saucepan and add 3 cups of hot water and bring that to a boil. You're then going to take your Granny Smith apples and remove the stems and place them in the boiling water for 10 seconds so that the wax comes off of the apples. I'm then taking a cloth towel. You can use a towel or a paper towel, and then I'm wiping all of the water off the apples so that I can dip them properly. I'm going to lay all the apples that I dipped in the boiling water on a wax paper sheet. So then I can let them dry as I make the caramel. And then I'm going to take these bamboo sticks that I got from Michael's. You can use these sticks or popsicle sticks. And I'm going to stick them in the middle where the stem was so that I can dip them. Now on to make the caramel, you're going to need 1 cup of light brown sugar, 1 stick or a half a cup of unsalted butter, a half a cup of light corn syrup, and lastly a half a can of sweetened condensed milk, or 7 ounces. I'm going to whisk all of the ingredients I put in my saucepan until I reach a boil. You're going to need a candy thermometer or any type of cooking thermometer, so once the caramel reaches 245 degrees Fahrenheit, you can remove it from the stove. This process takes about 20 to 30 minutes depending on how high you have your heat. I have my heat on medium heat, and you can see that it's starting to get done, and I'm just waiting for it to reach 245. Caramel has now reached 245 degrees Fahrenheit, so now I'm going to remove it and wait 1 to 2 minutes so that I can add my vanilla extract. As I wait for the caramel, I'm going to wipe all of the apples again because some of them have sweated. Now that I waited 1 to 2 minutes, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to my caramel. I'm now going to take the apples and submerge them in the caramel. I do a 360 rotation all throughout so that the whole apple gets covered. I had to reheat my caramel because it got stiff. If you need to do this, you can place the saucepan back on the stove and on medium heat for about 1 to 2 minutes, just until you reach a boil, and then you can start dipping again. So these are how the apples turned out. I think they look really nice. You can leave them like this, or you can dip them in a theme like I'm doing. You're gonna need to grab a piece of wax paper just so that the chocolate doesn't stick from the bottom of the caramel, so you have a clean finish. I'm gonna take some milk chocolate morsels. You can use dark chocolate or white chocolate, and then I'm going to melt them in a bowl in the microwave. I then put my chocolate in a piping bag. You can use a Ziploc baggie or whatever you have, and then I'm going to start piping my apple. I'm going to start at the top of my apple and draw 4 diagonal lines that are connected so it gives the effect of a web. Then I'm going to take my chocolate and go in an M-shaped motion across each of the lines so that it will complete the look of the web. And then I'm just going to replicate the same thing that I just did on the other side of the apple. To finish it off, I'm going to take a chocolate morsel and put a dot of chocolate there so that the morsel can stick, and then I'm going to add legs to create the spider. The second style spiderweb, I'm going to take diagonal lines up and down all across the apple, and then I'm going to go in an M shape the same as I did with the first apple. It's just going to be all over this apple. For my pumpkin apple, I'm going to melt some chocolate. If you don't already have orange chocolate, you can dye some white chocolate and then just mix it together. I'm then going to take my caramel apple and dip the whole apple in the chocolate 3/4 of the way. And then I'm going to shake the apple so that I don't waste any chocolate and all of the excess chocolate drips back into the bowl. So I did the same thing for both apples, and now I'm going to take the same chocolate in a piping bag and go in diagonal lines all around both of the apples to give it a pumpkin effect. Now I'm going to take the same chocolate piping bag I used for the first two spider apples, and then I'm going to make triangles to give it a jack-o'-lantern look. And then I'm going to move to the bottom of the apple to do the facial expression. For this one, I'm going to do a scream or vampire teeth, and for the next one, I'm going to give it a nose and a smile. To finish the apples off, I'm going to take some green chocolate. Again, you can dye your white chocolate with green dye. And I'm just going to give it a little hair or leaf effect at the top. So here are the finished apples. I did 2 different types of spider web apples and 2 different facial expression pumpkin apples. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos.